In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we drop in on the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Falmouth Community Media Center, stroll down Main Street to check out the Village of Scarecrows, and visit Falmouth High School to learn about a unique basketball team. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. We begin with the Vigil on the Village Green to honor the memories of those lost in the heartbreaking shooting at the Tree of Life congregation in Pittsburgh.
This event came about in the wake of the news of the tragedy in Pittsburgh. I received the news Saturday morning by text from someone. I had not heard about it during the morning. I was actually teaching Torah study in my congregation. Came outside and saw a Falmouth Police Department cruiser in our lot. And when I heard the news, I put two and two together. Immediately, people were texting, emailing, calling, expressing their concern. Tremendous responses from the broader community. People concerned about the Jewish community, about our well-being. It was very moving. And it quickly became clear that there was a need for some sort of communal response, a way to bring people together. And so consulting with my colleague at the congregation, Pamela Rothstein, who is also on the steering committee for No Place for Hate, with Reverend Nell Fields and with Olivia White, the other two members of No Place for Hate, we decided that as quickly as possible we try to pull together a vigil.
No Place for Hate is an organization that we try to work in the community, trying to organize events that bring community people, all walks of life together. We very strongly believe that we are part of one human family. And in a time like this, when tragedy happens, it really touches each one of us. And especially since our name is No Place for Hate, this event that is caused by really hate. And we wanted to make sure that we show our solidarity to our brothers and sisters in the Jewish community here in Falmouth.
There's no question in my mind that this attack is part and parcel of a growing wave of intolerance against minorities of every kind, and Jews are absolutely not immune. Since 2016, anti-Semitic incidents in the United States have increased by 57%. So there is hatred enough to go around, unfortunately. And this time the Jewish community are the victims. This vigil is just one piece of a larger puzzle. All of us have to find our ways, whether we're part of faith communities or civic organizations or just within our families and circles of friends. We have to find ways to talk about changing the culture of this country. I don't know how else to put it.
For complete coverage of the Vigil on FCTV Public Channel 13, check out the programming guide on our website, fctv.org. Thanks to Alan Russell for that coverage. Now we sit down with Town Manager Julian Suso, who talks us through a few of the notable town meeting articles being discussed in this fall's upcoming town meeting.
Hello, I'm Julian Suso, Falmouth Town Manager, and it's my privilege to speak with you about the upcoming November town meeting. And I guess I'll launch off with an early article that comes up, and that is asking for funding for the design and construction of replacement water main for Main Street. That's from Palmer Avenue to Oxbow. It is a project we've talked about for several years, and we're finally at the point where we're ready to complete final design and ask for the $7.6 million in funding approval from town meeting to allow it to go forward. This comes on the heels of our recently completed water filtration facility, which we're delighted to have brought that to the finish line so successfully. Also in town meeting, we have a warrant article which we've been carrying each November for the past several years, and that is a capital funding article that has many sub-elements to it. I'll just touch on a couple of those. One of them asks for supplementary funding for ESCO Phase 2. Those are our town-wide energy improvements. Those have funded energy enhancements in our school department and in town buildings throughout the town of Falmouth. These supplementary funds would allow us to move forward with selected window replacement at Town Hall. We have our HVAC upgrade in Town Hall already underway. We're also asking for capital funds to allow the provision of a generator for the Gus Candy Community Center so that that important facility can function in emergency situations where in the past we know we've occasionally had power interruptions so that we can continue to serve the public out of that building, particularly for important functions like temporary warming center, potentially even some sheltering as needed to supplement what we do now in the high school as needed. Continuing, we have a few other warrant articles. We have a seasonal employment wage article. This is so that our wages for our seasonal employees in recreation, beaches, election clerical, etc., can be adjusted annually. This will be for calendar year 2019. We need to remain competitive so that we can continue to hire part-time seasonal workers for those important expanded functions that we have in the town to serve the public. Going forward, we also have as I've noted, several petition articles, and a couple of them I thought it might be helpful just to weigh in on briefly. But the first one that I would just want to comment on was a petition article suggesting the creation of a new standalone division within Public Works, a division of solid waste, and also the creation of a new full-time position of a solid waste manager. That is a petition article on which the Board of Selectmen has recommended indefinite postponement. Two additional petition articles that are on other topics. One has proposed that funds be set aside for what is called ALICE training in the police department and the school department to put police officers and school employees through the training process for ALICE. And ALICE really is an acronym for a training function that is designed to train individuals in how to respond when you have an unwelcome visitor, whether it's into the school department, one of the school buildings, or any other private or public building. That's my snapshot view of some selected items for the upcoming November town meeting, and we look forward to joining with town meeting members.
Thanks to Jeff Wyman for that video. And remember, town meeting starts Tuesday, November 13th, and can be viewed live on FCTV Government Channel 15. Coverage begins at 6:45 p.m. It's time now for Three Things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
Director of Public Works, Ray Jack, led a discussion along with other town officials to update the public on the revised plans the Massachusetts Department of Transportation designed for Falmouth's Route 28 corridor, which spans from Main Street all the way to Oxbow Road. Citizens showed up in numbers to voice their concerns over the widening plans for the street and that there is no place for a roundabout in Falmouth.
Where's this roundabout going? Is it going up into Friendly's front yard?
No, it's generally accommodated within the existing right-of-way at the intersection. There's a very wide right-of-way there
Well,
today,
your diagram
as
is
the
very
three roadways come
confusing.
together.
It's very confusing. Really is. Now, it looks like Main Street is going to be a two-way street coming into the roundabout. Is there going to be some kind of an island there? Is that what that white triangle is?
Yes, Main Street is a two-lane roadway approaching the roundabout, and then it begins to diverge a little bit to open up to provide space for this raised island in the middle.
We realize a lot of people that have come tonight may not have had an opportunity to speak, and also some people might not have had an opportunity to even hear because the room was very overcrowded, and a lot of people are interested. We're seeking to get a bigger space, perhaps to high school.
Board of Health Chair Diana Malloy, along with support from other board members and staff, updated the selectmen on Monday night about the work and focus the Board of Health has been concerned with over the past year. The report detailed the sectors of focus the board identified, including restaurant inspections, staffing, and blood-borne diseases such as those that can be transmitted through tick bites. The selectmen praised the board and the health department for their efforts and had questions to the board, such as vaping in our town's youth.
Is the vaping, is mostly smoking tobacco, or is it marijuana, or both, or what is that?
Vaping is, it's nicotine in small, very small amounts. So what they're trying to do is to have the smaller nicotine without actually smoking the cigarette. So unless they're vaping something else, then
think that
and
they
well,
are.
and they
Yeah,
probably are. I mean, you have to keep up with it. You probably know more
Only
because
because
you
I
see
have
it.
a
Exactly.
teenager, and
Yeah.
I think some parents have concerns that they're using the vape for marijuana. So.
Beach Superintendent Bruce McGardo addressed the board in their annual report in this last meeting as well. Mr. McGardo wanted to discuss with the selectmen the new rules that have been implemented recently and explain how enforcement of the rules had gone this past season. He explained to the selectmen an enforcement tactic that seemed to have been working, one where he teaches lifeguards a friendly, personal approach.
Perhaps critical to this success. One was our clear, clean, and easily understood implementation. We started that at orientation. We continued that with all the head guards and assistant head guards. We did that in my office, one-on-one. We did it in groups. We role-played. We role-played how to say no. We role-played how to say yes nicely. We did all those things because I'm a firm believer that leaders need to be taught how to lead, how to make decisions. I'm an old educator, so that comes natural to me.
And it's great that you kept all the records of the number of interactions, and it was very,
Thank you.
very helpful and clear.
I had a great staff this year, and so they were very helpful to contribute all these numbers and things on the beach logs.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. Let's see what's happening in Falmouth in the month of November. The annual Alternative Gift Market will be held at St. Barnabas Church on November 10th and 11th. Contributors can choose from 20 different global and local charitable organizations. Holidays at Highfield officially opens for the season on Friday, November 23rd, with their spectacular holiday season decor on display until December 2nd. The Greater Falmouth Community Chorus holiday concerts begin November 30th with seasonal holiday classics performed at the First Congregational Church of Falmouth. And here at the Mazer Gallery, FCTV will host the first annual Holiday Gift Gallery, beginning with an opening reception on Sunday, November 4th from 3 to 5 p.m. and running through Thursday, November 29th. There will be a unique collection of locally produced art for sale, including paintings, photography, sculpture, mosaics, apparel, jewelry, ornaments, greeting cards, and more. FCTV hosts this event to support local artisans and artists during the gifting season. Join us for the opening reception, get some early holiday shopping done, and help support our local artist community. We'll be right back with a story about exciting times right here at FCTV. Stay with us.
I'm going to vote, and you should too.
We're going to vote, and you should too. I'm going to vote, and you should too.
I'm going to vote, and you should too.
I'm going to vote, and you should too.
Welcome back. The groundbreaking ceremony for our expanded Falmouth Community Media Center facility was held at the end of October. We spoke with CEO Deborah Rogers about what this means for FCTV.
At this point, we'd like to grab some shovels and get this groundbreaking going. Ready? We're here today to build the new Falmouth Community Media Center, which will expand Falmouth Community Television into a new facility. We are changing our name. We are becoming Falmouth Community Media Center. This will allow us to expand our curriculum, expand opportunities to people in the community. We'll be offering more workforce development, youth enrichment, additional classes to our core programs, and meeting and learning spaces to people throughout the community.
We've had a long-time relationship with Debbie and with Falmouth Community TV, and we're very grateful to be part of this project. So just wanted to say thanks to you and also to the board for your vote of support.
You know, on behalf of the Board of Directors and the members of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, congratulations on this really quite momentous occasion. And I have to tell you how thrilling it is to be a part of this. So much that you do for the community, between the community, educational, and government access. I could say probably nowhere else in the Commonwealth, or probably the United States, is there a community access television station that does as much for the community as FCTV. It's an exciting day, I know, for you and for everybody here, but also for the entire community. And just you know, I marvel year after year at all the great things you do here, and we're so proud to be, you know, associated with you and be able to collaborate with you. So congratulations.
First of all, I go way back when FCTV just had the little spot up on the far side. And we've developed and we're growing and growing, and I think this is a great accomplishment. Our greatest aspect was in getting Deb Rogers. She's brought this place really around and in the sunshine.
And we can always rely on our colleagues at FCTV to step up in support of what we do and to assist us in communicating to the public. So our congratulations, our best regards, our thanks for all in the past, and are looking forward with you to all the great things to come. Well done. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you all, everybody.
We live in a pretty divisive world, but we have a really amazing community here. And Falmouth Community Television and Falmouth Community Media Center is here to be about Falmouth. That's what we are. That's who we are. That name Falmouth will always be part of our name. And we want people to use us. We are here as a resource for our community, and there's something for everybody.
The project is expected to be completed next spring. Thanks to Bob Fenstermaker for that coverage. Visitors to Main Street in Falmouth are bound to see the scarecrows that our local merchants have displayed to decorate our downtown. Patricia Cosgrove from the Falmouth Village Association tells us more about the Village of Scarecrows competition.
Currently, we have about 18 members of the Village Association that are participating this year in the Village of Scarecrows. They come together with ideas from their employees, and a lot of them reflect their business, the type of business they have. Some are very whimsical, some are creative. If you drive down Main Street, you can actually see all of the scarecrows in front of most of the businesses, and we're having a contest for the most original or creative scarecrow, which you can find on our Falmouth Village Association website. And also we have our Facebook page post with all of the scarecrows with their title of the business that's promoting them, and you can vote, share, like, or comment on the scarecrow of your choice, and the contest goes through November 5th. This year was our first year we coordinated that event with the Jazztober event that we sponsored and co-partnered with the Arts Falmouth. So we had our jazz stroll, we had our sidewalk sale, and then the scarecrows, of course, added a nice touch to the event. Falmouth itself is a very kind of quintessential Cape Cod downtown Main Street. We have a great participation with our members and our merchants on Main Street. We have 70 plus members in the Village Association, which is comprised of businesses from Gifford Street area all the way up to Highfield Hall. They really enjoy this event because they really get to showcase their business and their scarecrows, and great participation every year. It's kind of like a little bit of competition between the members to come up with the best scarecrow. So our next big event for the Falmouth Village Association is part of the Holidays by the Sea weekend, and our holiday stroll takes place on December 8th from 5 to 8 p.m. through Main Street and the Queens Byway. So there'll be lots of activity that night, and we hope to see a lot of people down in town visiting with Santa, and for the Chamber's lighting of the green as well.
Check out the Falmouth Village Association website for details about upcoming events during the holiday season. Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. Falmouth Museums on the Green recently held their annual Visit with the Night Watchman event, a slightly spooky haunted experience with a historical twist.
10 years ago we thought that we were not connected enough with our community, and so part of it is just inviting people to come here and have a good time with us, and also to show that we're kind of normal people, as normal as, Halloween hauntings get, But that's really basically it. We just wanted to participate more in the community.
Well, the whole point of this, the origin of it, was Tamsin wanting to find a way to bring a new audience into the Historical Society. So that's really the whole point of doing a haunted house on here at the Museums on the Green. And it does just that.
Everything we do here is based on true historical fact in Falmouth. Of course, it could be stretched a little bit one way or another. And we hand out sheets that tell you the truth. But all of it is based on a true fact. So that makes it kind of fun.
So most of the scenarios have some basis in historic fact. Very few of them, this year in fact, very few don't. And so you learn a little bit, hopefully, as you go through. But some of the stories have to be kind of goosed up a little bit to make them more fun.
Depends on how authentic you think, but we try. We have the right setting in the background. And we have a good time going through it, and any house that's old is scary to go through when the lights are off, just to begin with. Much less that you're going to see somebody who poisoned 32 people and was captured in Katomet, It's not, it's not every day.
It's, when you're working in a historical space like the Wicks house, not only is it really Dr. Wicks' house, so, he usually shows up, but it's, there's things about that house that make it something different from, sort of just putting up a barn or, working in a barn or whatever. It is antique. The rooms are a certain size and shape. Peter had to find ways to soundproof between the rooms because there's very little soundproofing.
Thin walls, very thin walls. And also there is modern electricity in different places in the building, so you have to learn how to run extension cords to various places, and it's a lot of long runs because of older electricity. But you have to do it and make sure nothing blows or anything falls apart.
Every year we do something different. We've got 5 or 6 stories this year. We tend to have more fantasy outdoors than we do in the house, and then next year we'll have different stories. So that if you're a person that came last year, there would be different ones this year, and they'll be staged in different rooms and so on. So it's new every time.
Thanks to Alan Russell for that piece. This past Sunday marked the 41st running of the Cape Cod Marathon. Approximately 1,300 participants assembled at the Falmouth Village Green starting line to run the current course for the last time. Next year, marathon officials are planning a completely new course. We met with the new race director, Jack Afarian, and former race director, Courtney Bird, to talk about the race, past, present, and future.
I'm Courtney Bird, and for 30 years I was the director of the Cape Cod Marathon. The race started in '78 out at Otis Air Force Base. 4 loops around abandoned barracks, and for 6 years the race was held there.
I believe there were 300 runners in the first race, more or less. Entry fee was $3. $3.
In 1984, the race was moved into the town of Falmouth, and we set up the current course, of which this is the final year of it this year.
Starts on Main Street, it goes down to the water, goes east up Davisville, around up Thomas Landers Road, down 28A through Sippawisset into Woods Hole, and then back along Surf Drive and back up into town for 26.2.
The course was laid out by the president of the club at the time, was Kit Wise, who was an local architect. And even though it was a very scenic course, it was very demanding. Well, the numbers that we had the first year when we moved it in 1984 went from about 180 runners, that was the last year at Otis, to over 750. And then the sport of running in the late 90s, the sport of running began to change, and at the same time, our numbers went up. And so throughout the first 10 years of this century, from 2000 to 2010, 2012, the race regularly sold out, and at 1,200 runners, and we even had a waiting list. The new course, as I say, will be a lot more manageable. It'll be safer. I think it'll be more relay friendly, and so I'm hopeful that this new course will be a real home run.
This is my first year directing the Cape Cod Marathon. This is the first year of directing any race. I have a background in marathoning. I've run 35 marathons, and my corporate background was in IT as a project manager. So I approach this as just another project management task.
The Cape Cod Marathon, it enjoys and has enjoyed the support of the town. Not only DPW, but the police have been fantastic. The town administration has been fantastic.
The police, every year, they have about 30, 35 police officers on the race course that are keeping it safe for the runners.
If you can't enjoy the support of the community, then you shouldn't be putting it on. And because of that, we're fortunate. And I think that's why the race has done as well as it has.
So I love marathons. I know what works in a marathon, I know what doesn't work, and I brought that experience to this race. And then with my background as a project manager, the two blend together very well to run this race.
I think that event would not happen without the 700, 800 volunteers who give of their time. And that's what makes it a community event. And so I'm very pleased about that. And I thank the town, I thank the volunteers, and I wish Jack Afarian a great deal of success.
Brian Morseman of Bath, New York, was the first male finisher, and Samantha Roker of Philadelphia, the top female finisher. The top male Falmouth finisher was Adam Polakowski, and the top female Falmouth finisher was Yi Yao. Thanks to Anthony Sedera for that report. After the break, we'll take a look at a unique basketball team at Falmouth High School. Stay with us. Welcome back. The newly formed Falmouth High School Unified Basketball Team hosted its first home game with a doubleheader against Plymouth North and Plymouth South on Wednesday, October 24th in the Falmouth High School Fieldhouse. Here's more about this unique team, sponsored by MIAA and Special Olympics in a very worthy partnership.
So this is the Falmouth High School Unified Basketball Team. This is a new program that the district started this year. It combines students with intellectual disabilities with general ed students and gives them a chance to partner up and provide kids an opportunity to play an interscholastic sport that wouldn't normally have the opportunity. It's a partnership between Special Olympics and the MIAA. There's several teams in the area. We have a 5-game schedule. We hosted a jamboree today. And it just gives a lot of the schools an opportunity to reach out to a subpopulation that, again, wouldn't have the opportunity to play for a traditional team.
I've enjoyed getting to have play time and get to hang out with friends and be a role model. Me as a regular basketball player, I don't really get to play as much as I do now because the games are close and we have more competitive players.
I like to be on the team. That's why I did a couple of shots and I like to play basketball. It helps your strategy to help make you feel better.
We're all very positive. We're never negative around each other. Like we always cheer each other on, and it's good. Everyone likes each other. Everyone enjoys it.
Thank you to Ryan Weber for that report. FCTV wants you to know that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos, or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the Mullen Hall Costume Parade. Thanks for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.
Scarecrows!